Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church. We are a welcoming congregation where we strive to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection. My name is Elena Brooks Perkins. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as the nominating chair and on the worship committee. And I want to invite Amy McKnight to come up and make an announcement.
Auction time already? 110 days. Thank you, Scott Crow. Thank you for that shameless plug. Good morning. My name is Amy McKnight. I am on the Stewardship Committee, the Worship Arts Committee, and Handbell Choir, and I am your auction chair. Pardon me? And I do cook and bake, yes. The Stewardship Committee would like to invite you to our annual barbecue dinner on Saturday, August 29th at 5 p.m. Tickets will go on sale at the beginning of August. Please watch the e-news carefully for further updates. Expect the same offering of home-smoked brisket crafted by our in-house smoking team and many other items. This is a family event, and we hope to see you all there. At the barbecue dinner this year, we are inviting crafters to display and sell their items. Tables will be free to rent, set up. So jewelers, quilters, photographers, seamstresses, painters, bakers, woodworkers, you are all welcomed to participate. We will be releasing information on this very soon. If you have any questions, you can see me or Michelle Matthews. Next Sunday is our fourth Sunday of the month, where we highlight a local organization and donate our offering plate funds to them. As we have done in the past couple years, our July 4th Sunday charity will be the VCU Children's Hospital of Richmond to help with the ongoing campaign to fight childhood cancer. We will join Anthem Lemonade for Kids by creating a lemonade stand here in our lobby and serving maybe several different kinds of lemonade during our coffee hour. You do not have to be here to donate to this wonderful cause. Our online donations to the fourth Sunday plate are happily accepted. Today, if you've noticed or you remembered, it is our third Sunday, so today is our Baker's Dozen, our monthly bake sale, used as a fundraiser for our UUCC. July is the beginning of our fiscal year, and we have quite a selection out there for you to choose from today. On behalf of the Stewardship Committee, we would like to thank you wholeheartedly for our 2025-2026 contributions, as Baker's Dozen raised $11,789. So thank you. So thank you for the foodies who help bake and cook, and all of those who love to eat. There are so many wonderful activities and fundraisers coming up here at UUC this summer and fall, and Scott Kroll beat me to it, but yes, hashtag 110 days to auction, and we hope to see you all at these events.
Oh, I have a little friend. Whether you're here for the first time or the 1,000th time, welcome. Whatever you are facing in your own life, welcome. This is a place where we try our best to be real with one another, to get through hard things together, and to remind ourselves and one another of the values that ground and center us, that motivate and move us. Whoever you are, whatever your faith journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We welcome all who seek to know the sacred and all who seek to make our world more just. Our chalice lighting words are from Welcome to This Place of Possibility from Marianne Hatchton Cotter. And Helen and Graham, my children, are going to help light the chalice. Welcome to this place of possibility. This is love's hearth and home of hope, a refuge for minds in search of truth, unfolding, ever beautiful, ever strange. Here, compassion is our shelter, freedom our protection from the storms of bigotry and hate. In this abode, may we find comfort and courage. Here, may our sight become vision, to see the unseen, to glimpse the good that is yet to be. Please rise in body or spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, number 128, For All That Is Our Life, in our gray hardcover hymnal.
Please be seated. I'm Lisa Furr. I use she and her pronouns. I thought of this service several years ago after reading. Hi, Reverend Sarah. Okay, no pressure. After reading a paragraph or two in a magazine, and I'll talk a little bit about that later, and so just kept thinking about how where we're from frames who we are and how we build on that or overcome it. And so I'm glad that you're here to hear from members of our congregation. I love the summer services where we can hear from members of the congregation and get to know one another a little better. So thank you. To remind us of that commitment that we have as a congregation is to be together in covenant. We share these affirmation words. Please join me, beginning with that all-important word, love is the message of this church, and service is our way. This is our great covenant together, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. We return to our centers of connection every week because we know that rituals bring us closer together and build our community. We light our candles of hope and joy and place our stones of sorrow and fear to honor these inner experiences together. As the folks in the room participate in our ritual, those joining us online, please use the chat to participate. Write your name and stone or candle, and we will include you at the end. If you would like someone to light a candle for you and you don't wish to get up and walk up to the front, please raise your hand, and we will also do that at the end. If anyone who would like to come forward now will do so. We have two lines that we can use, and stones in the center. Thank you. Raise your hand. And anyone who would like a stone placed for them? And we light a final candle for all the joys and hopes that remain unspoken, and a final stone for all those heavy things we carry in our heart. Please join me in our sung prayer response, There is a Love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all we rest in this love.
Amen. And hi there. My name is Adina Danuf. I use she or they pronouns, and I am your director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. And today we're talking about how where we were born influences who we are. And just getting back from traveling and being with colleagues in New England this past week, it has been pretty evident to me that I am from the South. I could share a bit about how where I am from has influenced parts of who I am, but I want to use my time today to share that where we were staying in beautiful UU community for the past week was just 6 miles from where Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero, born in Colombia, had his life taken. And we are in a time where you are born, where your parents were born, where your ancestors were born, can make life much harder and scarier for you. And I say we are in a time, but we have always been in a time, right? And I think that as we have this conversation and hear these wonderful perspectives today, it's important to remember that. So in honor of Johann and all my Black and Indigenous and people of color siblings who, like multiracial people like me, have been asked, but where are you really from? I wanted to share this book, Where Are You From? By Yamali Saeed Mendez and Jamie Kim. It begins, where are you from, they ask. Is your mom from here? Is your dad from there, they ask. I'm from here, from today. Same as everyone else, I say. No. Where are you really from, they insist. So I ask Abuelo because he knows everything, and like me, he looks like he doesn't belong. Where am I from? Abuelo thinks, and his eyes squint like he's looking inside his heart for an answer. You come from the Pampas, the open, free land, he says. I pause here because the art in this book is divine. You come from the gaucho, brave and strong, from the brown river that cleanses and feeds the land, that gives us the grain for our bread and the milk from the cows. You're from the mountains so high that they tickle Señor Cielo's belly, where the condor roosts his family and the jaguar prowls at night. You're from hurricanes and dark storms, and a tiny sinking frog that calls the island people home when the sun goes to sleep. If you've ever been to Puerto Rico, the coqui, right? Coqui, coqui. From this land where our ancestors built a home for all, even when they were in chains because of the color of their skin. You're from the grandmothers who search for their grandchildren, waiting always, waiting in a plaza, the white handkerchiefs wrapping the sorrow of their thoughts. You come from the sunshine that lights our path in this world, in the rain that washes away our mistakes. But abuelo, I ask, where am I really from? Abuelo laughs as you just did. You want a place? He points to his heart. You are from here, from my love and the love of all those before us, from those who dreamed of you because of a song sung under the Southern Cross or the words in a book written under the light of the North Star. You are from all of us. I am. And as we continue to explore where we were born and who we are in our service today, I just want to remind you that because you are here or virtual, and you are a part of this community, it does not matter where you were born or where you are really from. You too are from here, yeah? And you too are from all of us. So now I invite the children and youth, no matter where they were born, to head off to class with us.
Please join me in our offering and acknowledging all the ways we give to this church and this world. We give because this is our church and we value what it does for us, to us, and through us, to our community and our world. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this church, inside and outside our walls. May we give in love and hope. Thank you for your offering and all the ways you give to our life and ministry with your time, talent, treasure, and trust. Together, our gifts allow us to expand and strengthen the tapestry of love, wonder, and connection that blesses this church and transforms us and the world. Our reading is from Dreaming the Dark, Magic, Sex, and Politics by Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half in... Oh. What's that? I'm not sure. Okay. It's like I don't hear anything. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength. That joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us as we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace where we can all be free.
Aloha, kahakiaka. My name is Kaila Murphy, also known as Gail Murphy. I use she, her pronouns. I have been coming to UUCC for about 20 years. I am a member of the Stewardship Committee, but I'm not here today to ask you for your money. So please relax and hang on to your wallets and checkbooks for now. I grew up in Hawaii in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I would like to share with you 3 things about my upbringing that influenced who I am. Ohana. My primary family moved to Honolulu in 1955 when I was 2. My mother, father, sister, and our dog Smokey. Both my parents were very gregarious people. They became fast friends with the people from whom they bought their first Hawaiian home, and some neighbors who lived down the block. Ohana is a Hawaiian word meaning family. Culturally, it goes beyond blood relatives to include anyone who is considered part of one's community, close friends, neighbors, co-workers. The core philosophy calls for mutual care, loyalty, and a promise that nobody is left behind or forgotten. The word stems from oha, the offshoots of the taro plant. The shoots sprout from and remain connected to the main root. Like the taro plant, members of an ohana grow together and nourish one another. Extended family is very important in traditional Hawaiian society, and close friends are often treated as biological family members with roles like aunties, uncles, and cousins. As for the folks who sold my parents their home and the neighbors down the block, 70 years later, the Murphys remain ohana with the Lemke and Arnold clans. My Hawaiian coat of arms was given to me as a graduation present from my aunties. Today, I have friends whom I consider sisters and brothers, and even this church community is ohana for me. I care about you and care for your well-being, and I feel that is reciprocated. Culture. Hawaii was racially and ethnically very diverse. No one group was the majority. Japanese, Europeans or haoles, Chinese, and people whose ancestors came from many Pacific islands all made up the population. Each group had their own culture, rituals, and celebrations. For example, in Hawaiian culture, you have a big party, maybe a luau, when a child turns 1. In the old days, if a baby made it to 1, they were likely to make it and became fully welcomed. One of the biggest holidays in Hawaii is June 11th, King Kamehameha Day, which celebrates the man who united the Hawaiian Islands. We would always attend the Kamehameha Day parade with its floats and princesses on horses representing the 7 major islands, cowboys, military bands. The military was very important in the state economy, politicians, of course, and lots of flowers and leis. It's quite different than a parade, say, in Virginia, and yet there are similarities. My experiences growing up taught me to appreciate the beauty and depth of diversity. Compassion. I went to Catholic school K through 12 at Star of the Sea. It was off the road that went to the east side of Oahu. Because of our proximity to the highway, we frequently heard ambulances and fire trucks. The good nuns would stop class so we could say a prayer for whomever was in distress and those assisting. To this day, when I hear a siren, I send a good wish that things will work out well. It may sound corny, but if an ambulance or fire truck is coming for me or to my home, I hope someone sends a prayer my way. During the Vietnam War, an R&R program was instituting, allowing soldiers a break for a few days. They would fly east and their loved ones would fly west and meet up in Hawaii. Hotels sprung up and local people got jobs in the construction and tourism industries. We welcomed our visitors. It was the first time I realized that sometimes there is a silver lining under the mushroom cloud. The war was bad in so many ways, and yet some good came of it. Our nuns had us visit the soldiers at Triple Army Hospital to talk and help write letters if needed. This instilled in me our duty to honor those who protect us. In going around the island or traveling to neighbor islands, I noticed a certain inequity in allocation of resources, say for public schools, employment, public transportation, and housing. Resources went to the city and rural areas suffered. I didn't understand why or how to make a difference in reducing this unfairness. All these years later, I still notice unfairness in the distribution of public resources. I understand better why this is, and that we, you and I, can make a difference in righting wrongs with the Ohana promise that nobody is left behind or forgotten. Like you, many things have influenced who I am today. Ohana, culture, and compassion are 3 things that stood out for me as key in my upbringing in Hawaii. Mahalo and aloha.
So I kind of had to do that. So where are you at? So I'm from New Orleans, and that's a typical New Orleans greeting. But it's not that cut and dry because I was born in Salt Lake City and moved to Denver. And then my dad was transferred to New Orleans when I was 11 years old. Huh? Oh, I'm Mark Moline. What? I thought it was in the program. But so when I was 11, my dad got a transfer to New Orleans, and so we went. You know, I'd heard of New Orleans, of course. It's a famous city. But in Denver, Salt Lake City, we had high mountains, we had dry plains and sagebrush and all of that. So I wasn't prepared for all that water. Bayous and ditches and swamps and lakes and rivers everywhere. And the food. In Denver, Salt Lake City, I had never eaten shrimp or crawfish or po' boys or muffaladas, but I adjusted. I adapted to the food from New Orleans, and I've been a food snob ever since. So if there's a po' boy on the menu around here, I ain't getting it. But the West still called. And so we moved out to the Denver Boulder area where we lived for 17 years. And we loved it. But New Orleans still called. And it was a big part of our life. Both my parents and Diane's parents were from there. And so we went back. And so when people ask where we're from, we say New Orleans. And it's famous. It's immortalized in song. It's immortalized in its food, the French Quarter, Bourbon Street for good and bad, hurricanes, boozy and real ones. So, but New Orleans is well known. So when you hear about New Orleans, what do y'all think of? Jazz. Mardi Gras. Jazz, all these different things. Etouffee, you know, and I agree. It's famous for its food, for its decorated potholes, which are legendary. And so my parents moved to New Orleans in 1966, and though they were both from Michigan, they couldn't leave. It was the food, it was the culture. They had symphony tickets, but more than anything, it was their friends. So when we first moved to the city, there was a UU fellowship that met close to where we lived. And so my parents joined. They served on committees, upon committee, upon committee, and they built this church, which actually ended up moving very close to one of the main levee breaks. And the clock stopped when the water hit the clock. And you know, and I get it, New Orleans shaped me. I've been listening to some Facebook interviews about people. Guy asked New Orleanians what they think of. What's the best smell? What's the best po' boy? And for me, the smell is crawfish boiling and sweet olive in the springtime. But now we've been in Richmond, Virginia for almost 30 years. I miss New Orleans, but I couldn't go back. Our home now is RVA. Why? It's people. It's the friendships. It's the community. It's UUCC, and I heard these things and other things we looked at. So it's like-minded thinkers that keep us sane in these fraught times. So being born out west and living in New Orleans shaped me and how I think. But like my parents, RVA is now home.
difference. Slightly. Thank you, Susan. So I want to start with a little humorous poem about the Midwest, where I grew up. Oh, the Midwest is a state of mind where the people are warm and awfully kind, where ope is a greeting, just gonna squeeze by, and we bake every casserole under the sky. We've got acres of corn and lakes by the score, and a goodbye takes 30 minutes or more. We complain of the blizzards, then shovel the drive, and thank the great heavens that we are alive. We worship at grocery stores, carts stacked up high. We live for the cheese that is battered and fried. The weather is crazy, we'll see every season in a single short afternoon for no earthly reason. With a thermos of coffee, a warm flannel shirt, and a steadfast devotion to patching the dirt. So raise up your ranch-dipped, deep dish crisp slice. It's a beautiful place to be Midwest nice. So I grew up in the first suburb north of Chicago, Evanston, Illinois, which is home of Northwestern University, a very liberal community. And I grew up taking the L downtown to see pre-Broadway shows, go to the Art Institute of Chicago, watch the Cubs play at Wrigley Field, ate many deep dish pizzas and hot dogs, and of course casseroles that my grandmother made. I had my prom on Navy Pier, which was very exciting, and I didn't realize not typical for prom. And I spent many summers on the beaches of Lake Michigan and many winters cursing the snow and hoping for a snow day that literally never came. Never had one snow day. Both of my parents grew up in Chicago and had deep roots there. My dad grew up on the south side of the city from a working class family. He grew up Catholic, and he had what felt like to me 400 cousins, and they lived all on the south side. So I went to many, many, many weddings and some church basements and budget hotel ballrooms. My mom's family were Northsiders, and my grandmother used to often share a story of going to the original Playboy Bunny Club that was on Chicago's Gold Coast, and she would complain because apparently the cafe tables were very close, and so when the bunnies would bring your drinks, they would lean over and then their little tail would be in your face, and she thought that was just horrible. But they didn't stop going, apparently. So growing up in Chicago, I think very much shaped me in that, I value public transportation, which I really miss. I learned very quickly how to sort of be safe in the city and carry my keys between my hands to keep myself safe at night. And I loved being near a city where I could just be very independent and go see a lot of different things in the city and meet a lot of different types of people. But we also spent a lot of time traveling around the Midwest, as many Midwesterners do. Just a quick aside, Tim Walz, while we were looking for our America's Dad, well, there was speculation about who Vice President Harris would pick to be her running mate. I saw a great meme online that was like, everyone's waiting at the airports to see who she's going to pick, and they were like, if it's Tim Walz, he got up like a good Midwesterner at 4 a.m., packed a cooler, got in the car, and is driving to D.C. Accurate. We drove to D.C. many times. So we also traveled to Madison, Wisconsin every summer for long weekends. We vacationed in Michigan. We went to the Indiana Dunes regularly. We crossed through Ohio on road trips. Sorry, Scott. I also went to college in Michigan and graduate school in Indiana. So really, I consider myself a Midwesterner sometimes, even beyond a Chicagoan. That really Midwest nice has shaped me in a lot of ways. We're very polite people, above all else. We believe in hard work, a strong sense of community. In fact, growing up, the buses didn't run past middle school or past elementary school. You just took the city bus, and everybody knew that and helped people if they needed. So the Midwest is really a perfect blend, in my opinion, of the friendliness of small towns, the diversity of major cities. We love our families, our comfort food, our quirky sayings like, oop, and yeah, no, no, yeah. I had to train myself to say soda instead of pop. So I think that my upbringing served me really well in a lot of ways. I value politeness and manners, approachability. I see the value in family and chosen family connections, and I love a good hot dish. I think the history of agriculture and manufacturing in the Midwest has really shaped a lot of that hard work ethic and self-reliance. And I've come to embrace my nasal accent, despite being embarrassed about it for a long time. I did 13 years of competitive figure skating, which I loved, and I'm very happy to not live in a cold climate anymore, though. And I really love the blend of my children of, sort of quasi-Midwesterners, but also Southerners, and my partner growing up in the Deep South. And so I love when they say "ope" and "y'all" in the same sentence. And I've really tried over the years to become less passive-aggressive, because I know that is a Midwestern staple. We do avoid conflict like it's our job. However, I'm really grateful to live in Richmond now, and I've never really considered Virginia. I had visited one time as a child and never thought I would end up living here. But I love being a Midwesterner. I love living in the South now. It was an adjustment politically to go from a very blue state to a very purple, we'll say, state. And I still really do miss the central time zone. I do think it is the ideal time zone. But I really love being on the East Coast, where we can travel up and down and see all different sorts of rural and communities and cities, and it doesn't take you 12 plus hours in the car. So here I am, a proud Midwesterner who has now lived in the South, actually probably more years than I lived in the Midwest, but I still love it. Oh.
I want to take a minute to thank Susan for her music. If you noticed, we had a Hawaiian folk song, we had Carolina on My Mind, and New Orleans blues, and a Chicago, Sweet Home Chicago. So she made it work. It was perfect. It was perfect. Some of you may have heard me say that as a national trainer, I watch people's expressions as I get up to speak. I'm told that my Southern accent is thick. You should hear my sisters and sisters-in-law. People seem to immediately assume that I'm not intelligent. Strangers have come up to me and said, "Ooh, say something Southern." Grits. I was raised in Lancaster, a small town in South Carolina. My wife Dorothy likes to remind me that VCU is bigger than the town I grew up in. She's not wrong. I say often that it's a good place to be from. If you ever watched the play or the movie Crimes of the Heart by playwright Beth Henley, you can get a pretty good idea of what growing up in rural South is. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. About small town Southern life and family. My mom always made sure we were appropriately dressed for the various occasions. We were taught how to behave. We were at church 3 times a week. We were expected to have standards, whatever that meant. Still, there were rules in my family. Some things were just not done. No cussing, except for Dad. No improper language, no slurs, and yet it was clear in small town South Carolina that certain things were commonplace. I realized later in my life that there were only 1 or 2 Black people in the advanced placement or level 1 classes in high school. A high school that was 60-40, 40-60, black-white, white-black on any given day, depending on who came to school. We did have many Black teachers and Black professionals in town. While I was growing up, it was still pretty segregated. I have spent years in my adulthood working hard to overcome that racism and biases. Education, experience, and action are key to undoing the injustices of the past. And yet, I got good things there too. Southern politeness and kindness to strangers are real in small towns. You never know who will see your actions and tell your mama. It goes a long way when you offer to help another and lift each other up. Bless your heart started out as empathy. Might not be the same anymore. I think my strong belief in the power of community is inherited from my small town upbringing. I do know the importance of being neighborly to all. The UU World, our denominational magazine, shared I Am From, a poem inspired by George Ella Lyon's poem of the same name. George Countryman brought it to us in a Sunday service a few years ago. And I last month was able to participate in an auction event where John talked about life stories. I'd like to share with you the poem I wrote in that class. It's done using Leon's poem and doing it kind of Mad Lib style. So you have a framework and then you put in phrases and words. So here's my poem. I am from the breakfast table, from ivory soap and Duke's mayonnaise. I'm from the ranch house my father designed, its slight smell of mildew. I'm from the creek in the backyard, the dogwood tree whose long gone limbs I remember as if they were my own. I'm from Grover and Anner and Peggy and Red. I'm from trips to the library and waiting for Dad to come home, and from family vacations. I'm from Remember You're a Fur, and belly buttons, that's where the Yankees shot you. And beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes clean to the bone. I'm from storytelling. I'm from Lancaster and Carolina, mac and cheese and Sunday roast. From my teenage grandparents' elopement, their 50-plus year partnership. From stories told around the table, all shared more than once a year. There's a magazine called The Bitter Southerner. Wonderful articles, excellent and thoughtful writing. I was very intrigued by the title, plus they have cool t-shirts. Years ago, I read it in a statement, and that's where I got the idea for this service. Being a proud Southerner is hard. There's a lot to be ashamed of and a lot of amends to make. But we have something the world needs. It's called a better South. Be proud of your accent. Be new South, not old. Be conscious of the past, but never dwell there. Be the one who tastes the new flavors in the gumbo. Be the one who acts right when others don't. Be aware of your blessings and share them with those who have less. Be generous of spirit. Be the smart Southerner among those who think there is no such thing. Be neighborly to all. Be thoughtful. Be kind. Be good. Believe in a better South. I love these services, and we have a gap in August if anybody wants to step in. Please join me now in a time of meditation and prayer. Find a comfortable place for your body, relaxing into your chair. Notice your breathing. Find your center. Take a moment and just be. We hold in love and hope those affected by the Canadian wildfires, especially the Indigenous people of Ontario, for those dealing with the floods in Texas and the extreme heat across our nation. We pray for our damaged planet and hope our home can heal from what we have done to it. We hope to hold accountable our leaders and politicians. May they be worthy of their leadership. We pray for this community and each other. Amen and blessed be. Please rise in body and spirit for our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home, 1064 in the blue hymnal. In preparation for our closing, let us reach out to each other in whatever way you feel comfortable. When you go, remember where you're from and create your home here with us. When you go, go in peace.
Leave this place knowing that you are good and knowing that you are loved.
Take your dark and your light from this place and your love. Share them with the world and stay safe until we meet again.
Thank you, everyone. Please join us for Baker's Dozen and the Reproductive Freedom Talk.